Tacos from my childhood. Having a lazy Sunday, so I figured I'll just make dinner and do a little story time. This is just a flank steak on a 360-degree pan. The flank steak is what I'm used to with tacos beef steak, by the way. You can use a leaner cut if you'd like. I prefer the flank because it has some fat to it. If you want, go with a skirt steak, and that'll be a little leaner than the flank. Also, a little more expensive, but it's okay. The cut that I'm going for is typically called beef steak in my hometown. So my typical order is 6 taquitos, beef steak with everything, which is the cotija cheese, caramelized onions, avocado. These are tacos that I can't find anywhere else other than my hometown. I think I've mentioned this on the channel before, but I come from a town that is very in between on things. Now, when I say it's in between, I'm not saying it like it's in between two countries. So it's called Brownsville. It's part of what's called the Rio Grande Valley. It's on the very tip of Texas. And if you were to leave the Rio Grande Valley, you'd have to drive 3 hours north just before you hit a checkpoint to prove that you're a US citizen. Even though you're already in the US, it's just that kind of town. So the food that I grew up with, it's not quite Tex-Mex, and it's not quite Mex. It's just sort of in between. So whenever traveling to North Texas, what you would consider Tex-Mex is something I would consider not like my standard Mexican food. And same thing for when I would travel to SoCal, where everyone says they have like the best damn Mexican food. I would say otherwise still. It's still more like Americanized, just like Tex-Mex is to me. It's really just in between. It's all predominantly Hispanic down there, and where's my rice vinegar? And it just feels like an area that's sort of untapped by everybody, except for now with the whole Elon Musk thing and SpaceX down there. Yeah, that's where SpaceX is now, which is kind of weird to me because I come from what I think is like a nothing town, but the food down there is just very different. And I'm not saying different like in a bad way, I'm just saying like it's something that I can't find when I go somewhere. I can only find it back home. If you were to go down there, you would see what I mean. Every place has tacos. Even the gas station has actual like homemade flour tortillas being made right next to the cashier, and you get the best breakfast tacos. The kind that I'm making right now are called taquitos piratas. That's the style of the taco that I'm making. It's one of my favorites. Now that I think about it, I don't even think some of the most like authentic Mexican restaurants in most places could come close to what is considered our fast food Mexican chains down there, local Mexican chains. But then that's all you can find. You're gonna just find the 956 or the Rio Grande Valley culture intertwined into everything down there. I mean, it's intertwined into everything. For example, in my middle school, during lunchtime, they would serve hot Cheetos with cheese, or they would serve tamales for breakfast, or barbacoa for breakfast. All the stuff was just intertwined into everything. We even have a holiday down there called Charro Days, and during Charro Days, they celebrate between the borders. So the mayor from Matamoros, which is the town in Mexico, would come across the bridge, and then our mayor from Brownsville would go across the bridge. They shake hands, and then there's like a huge festival, and there's like a parade, and there's food. It's like a whole thing. And even my uncle would compete in the frijole cook-off every year. That's the beefsteak right there. Yeah, so if you ask me, my favorite Mexican food is from my hometown. But maybe I'm biased because that's just what I grew up with and that's what I like. But it's really cool to see it being recognized. Like we have some spots down there that are starting to get recognized, like Vera's Barbecue. They just got a James Beard Award for barbacoa, and actually they're the only place in the entire country that can make barbacoa in the ground still, because it got grandfathered in. So they make it in the ground. But there's just a lot of different types of foods down there that maybe a lot of my followers don't know about, because a lot of people question when I make certain things like frijoles charros and these, for example, or you know, even a breakfast taco with American cheese. It's all just like standard down there. But I'm not doing these justice like the spot that I love called El Ultimo Taco. That place is really fucking good. This style of taco, I think, was born in Nuevo Leon, which is where Matamoros is. Oh wait, sorry, not Nuevo Leon, Tamaulipas. I get the towns mixed up. But yeah, Tamaulipas is where this specific taco was born pretty much. But have you ever been down there? I'd like to hear if anyone watching has ever been to the Rio Grande Valley, or if you're thinking of going. I mean, they're starting to get a lot of traffic now. Even for spring break, a lot of people go down there. Caramelized onions always go somewhere on the side for some reason. That's just the way it is. A little lime. And there it is. One of my childhood favorites. Taquitos Piratas beefsteak. We just call them beefsteak tacos. It's very simple, very straightforward. Maybe I'll do a video on it in the future.